You have to go on the field with a smile. You know what I mean? Like this God only gives so many people this opportunity.
Fact.
You know what I mean? So, like, yeah, you just have to go out there and make the most of it and really enjoy it, because when it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to, you know, I know I'm just getting started, but you know, why not?
It could all be over any day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not set the tone now?
The Next Man Up podcast is presented by Lansdowne Resort. From kickoff to check-in, score a game-changing getaway in the heart of Loudoun. Lansdowne Resort, proud partner of the Washington Commanders.
Welcome into Next Man Up, a special version of Next Man Up, because we're out here in Madrid. I'm your host, Roy Helu Jr, and I'm here with our rookie, Josh Conerly Jr. My brother, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good.
Yes, sir, man. Just got done. You went walkthroughs. You did practice, man. What has it been like being able to touch this field? We're at Real Madrid's facility. Yeah. How dope has it been to be out here?
I mean, it's my first time out the country ever in my life. So this is insane. You know, being able to do what I love somewhere I ain't never been in before in my life. So it's a blessing. You know what I mean? God put me here for a reason.
Amen.
And you know, I'm about to just go out there and show everything that I've been putting in work for, and you know what I mean? So yeah.
It's dope, man. So what's been the adjustment like for you, right? Because first time out of the country, that's wild, right, man. What's the adjustment been like? You know, you're still at work, but we in a whole nother time zone. You're away from the fam, you're away from the crib. What's it been like?
It's been fun. Been trying to get out a little bit, you know, go see some, get different foods. So that's been solid. Time zone messing with me. It's been hard. It's been hard to sleep a little bit. I might both y'all can, you know, like feel that.
Yes.
So because it's been hard to go to bed. But besides that, I mean, it's been really good. When I say Madrid been good to me, to say the least.
Is it been different? Because I know you guys are so routine based, right? I know everything is routine when it comes to being a pro athlete. How has it been adjusting to having a different routine, being in a different location? How's that been?
Especially waking up in the hotel, and not having to drive to the facility or anything, just being able to just wake up and go downstairs and everything kind of be there for you. That's been great I feel like for most of us. It's definitely an adjustment because, like, obviously we're not in our spaces, like the facility and everything like that. So like we're in our training room's a little bit smaller, you know what I mean? So that's an adjustment. But besides that, I mean, it's been good. It's been good for the most part.
It's dope, man.
Yeah.
It's dope, man. What a rookie year you've had, right? Like, it's not every day a rookie gets to come out to Spain. Not only come out to Spain, but play in the first NFL game ever in Spain, man. How's your rookie season been so far? Because last time we spoke, I think it was before you had even hit the practice field. Yeah, man. It was crazy.
Yeah. You know, it's been a lot of ups and downs. Yeah. Been heavily battle tested, but you know that's been my whole life. You know what I mean? Especially ball wise. I mean, I wasn't always the day one starter where I came from in college. Had to earn my way there. Like, God blessed me with it here. And my coaches believing in me. And honestly, like in the beginning of the season, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. I had some tough games. Even the beginning of last month, like I wasn't really playing my best. But you know, I feel like I'm really getting into a flow now. And I'm really adjusting and learning how to get into that flow state within the game. Because all that one thing kind of shaped me a little bit, but I can't do that. You know what I mean? Because everybody next to me needs me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So and 5 need me, 8 need me. You know what I mean. So I'm gonna make sure I'm at my best at all times. You know?
What helps you shake that off, right? What helps you, because these last few games, man, you have been playing outstanding and going against some really tough talent. So is it just getting more comfortable with time? What has helped you kind of shake that? Yeah,
I mean, I feel like I'm really getting comfortable in my position. I feel like in the beginning of the year it was a little uncomfortable, especially going against the guys I was going against, all pro, all league guys. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that's not no excuse who I'm going against or switching the sides. I still got to go out there and do my job at the end of the day. You feel me? So now I feel like I'm like I said, I'm getting into my flow. I'm getting into flow state, and I'm just out there vibing. You know what I mean? At first, like, I wasn't really having fun with it, and like I have to go. You have to go on the field with a smile. You know what I mean? Like God only gives so many people this opportunity.
Thanks.
You know what I mean? So like, you just have to go out there and make the most of it and really enjoy it, because when it's gone, it's gone. Yeah. So I'm just trying to, you know, I know I'm just getting started, but you know, why not?
It could all be over any day.
Exactly. Why not set the tone now?
So it's such a mature way to think of things, right? But you are a young man. You are a rookie, man. You talk about those highs and lows that you've dealt with. How have you kept yourself from getting to a dark space and being able to power through? Because some people, once they deal with those lows, they never come back. They stay low.
They stay low. I mean, my family. Like my family being there for me. And them lifting me up every day, it means the world to me. You know what I mean? And the people around me, my coaches, my teammates, the guys on the line with me, LT, like that's like my guy LT, like he never looked at me different because of how I played. And I played like sorry, like excuse my language, but like I real, like and I know that, like, you know what I mean? But I constantly improving, you know, and that's all that matters to me. And when I'm at the top, you know, they still gonna have something to say.
So I'm glad you mentioned Laramie Tunsil, because when I watch you, right, I say that's what a rookie's supposed to do. You are on Tunsil's hip everywhere I see you. Tunsil's there. Every time I see Tunsil, you're there, man. It's not every day you get to play alongside one of the best to ever do it at your position, man. Why have you made sure to be a sponge with Laramie Tunsil, and what has that relationship really been like?
That's my dog. You know what I mean? We talk about everything. And I say that, shoot, that's my guy. Like, there's not a whole lot of words that go into it. Like, and the reason why I'm always like kind of underneath him is because he's accepting of it. You know what I mean? That's one thing. That's one thing. Like about this is that not everybody has a good big bro. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I had to be that for people when I was in college. So it's like, if someone giving that back to me, it just keeps the cycle going. You feel me? And at the same, and like being black, like that was like tackle, playing offensive line, that wasn't always our spot
at all.
You know what I mean? Like it was just go out there and run. You know what I mean? So I feel like us being two powerful black men in our positions, like why not go out there and make the most of it? So,
is those one of those things where you have to approach him and say, "Hey man, can I learn from you?" Or is this just something that was innate by him? He just put an arm around you right away.
He was the first person I got to, outside of AP and DQ and those guys on draft night, that was just the first person to call me.
Wow,
really? I missed the call, but he was the first person to call me. I tried
to hold it against you.
I tried to call him back, but he probably went to sleep already. But he was the first person to call me. And from that moment on, shoot, it's been vibing. Yeah.
What are those conversations like between you and him? Because I know you, bro. You're very inquisitive. Right. You want to learn the game so much, but I know it's not just football stuff. It's life stuff too, man. What are those conversations like between you two?
I mean, like we talk about literally anything that y'all can think of. Like food, ball, everything. You know what I mean? Like
true big brother.
Family, like you know what I mean? Like literally like where we come from, like how his come up was, how my come up was, like what we've been through. You know what I mean? Like we literally talk about anything. So that's my guy, and that's someone I'm very appreciative for.
Man, I love that, bro. I love hearing about that relationship because I'm glad that you have that because 100%. It's necessary. And it seems like it was by design by AP and them to make sure they brought in rookies, but also had veterans to help lead them, right? And you said you stopped having fun. Yeah. Are you having fun now? Did you find that fun again?
You know, I shouldn't have said it that way. I wouldn't say like I was always having fun. Like it's amazing being able to strap up my helmet. Right. You know what I mean? Like that right there. That sound right there. That can get anybody going. You feel me? So I feel like I let like little things like from the games kind of mess with me. Yeah. So then I kind of be down on myself. So I wouldn't say I wasn't having fun. I just wasn't being like as enthusiastic and stuff like as I could be on the field, and like I was constantly thinking. So I wasn't playing as full speed as because I'm sitting there thinking, but. Why what do you got to think for? Just go out there and be physical, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And
Josh, it's okay to go through those hard times. It's okay to not feel like you're having fun because you want to do so much. Right. We have these goals for ourselves. We want to be the best. And sometimes when it's not working out, it's really, really hard because it's like, dang, I'm putting in that work. And we've seen you put in that work. Now we're going to be playing Spain, right? We're going to play out here in Spain against the Miami Dolphins, the first NFL game ever in Madrid, man. How special is that for you to be a part of NFL history?
It's insane. Yeah. Like it's literally crazy. Because like I said, first time traveling out the country, so and to be a part of the first game in Madrid ever. I mean, this is something you tell generations about. So yeah.
No, we will be dropping this after the Spain game, so I do got to ask you about your first official NFL bye week, man.
Yeah.
How happy are you to be getting towards this bye week? Because you know it's time for recovery, time for film, time to study, man.
Yeah.
I know you're a young man, so you might not even feel like you need a bye week, but I got to imagine this bye week's coming at the perfect time after a road trip.
Yeah, I'm going to say, especially, I feel like for everybody, I guess myself specifically, like, being able to go see my family, be able to go see my grandparents. Like, but, you know, it's a bye week, but it's still work week for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I love
like,
that.
And that's where, like, coming from Oregon, that's how it was. Like, we ain't had no bye week. We didn't get to go home. Like, we was practicing, working out, lifting. That's how it was. So that's kind of like been instilled in me. So yeah, I mean, I get to go home and see my family and stuff, but you know, there's still work to get put in and reevaluation and make sure I come back out for the rest of the season. I'm rocking.
It's funny when you say that in closing. I remember you mentioning how hard it's been to be away from your family. This is the first time being away from them.
Right.
What has that adjustment been like? And have you been able to get them to pull up to some games and come take you out?
Yeah. My pops comes to near almost every game.
That's fine.
Mom's comes to a good amount of my games. Siblings, like uncles, aunties, like.
That's what's
I
up.
say, yeah, people definitely pull up, and it's a little bit easier when we're on the road and, you know, a little bit closer to the West Coast, but yeah.
Hey, Josh, I appreciate your time, man.
Sure.
Man, we're proud of you, bro. Congratulations on all the success, man, and I hope you enjoy your first time overseas and the first NFL game in Spain. Appreciate you. Commanders family, our next man up, Josh Conerly Jr.
So.
Commanders family, we hope you have been enjoying Next Man Up. But before we go any further, we have to pay some bills. Now, Events DC is a proud partner of the Washington Commanders. Events DC is the premier host of meetings, entertainment, sporting, and cultural events in the nation's capital. From the Walter E. Washington Convention Center to Care First Arena, we create experiences that entertain, employ, serve as an economic engine, and elevate guests from around the world. See how we make DC happen at eventsdc.com.
Hey, Marylanders. Play multi-match from the Maryland Lottery, Maryland's only in-state jackpot game. A $2 ticket gives you a chance to win a jackpot starting at $500,000. Drawings Mondays and Thursdays. And remember, please play responsibly. They say your work defines who you are. Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, you are clocking in. But what happens on the weekend? What happens to your time? You could take it easy, or you could use your time to get better. In the U.S. Army, we think differently. Your time should be used to improve the skills you do have, to learn some you don't, to push yourself in new ways, because it's those days that truly define who you are. That's how you make progress. That's how you make impact on the world around you. It's your time. How you spend it is up to you. It's your time, the U.S. Army Reserve. Commanders family, back to the show. Now for our next man up, we have somebody that we know you guys have not heard from in a very, very long time. Me and him have ties from back in the Bay Area. We have ties from our alma mater, Nebraska. Welcoming in Roy Helu Jr., my boy, into Next Man Up. What's up, brother?
Hey, thanks for having me, Brian.
Oh, man, it is a pleasure, man. I appreciate you so much for taking the time. And it's so funny. I didn't find out till just now that you're actually currently still living in Omaha, Nebraska, man. That's crazy. That's where my son spends times, too.
Yep. So came here for university, married a girl from here, so it was inevitable.
Hey, listen, we got to go where the wifeys take us. You know what, man? Since we're both Husker alum, I don't get to talk to former Huskers all the time, so we're going to start right there, man. You had such a phenomenal career as a Husker. When I was a freshman coming in, you were a senior doing just incredible things. I believe we were still in the Big 12 at the time, man. How did what you accomplished while as a Husker, how did that help you in the NFL?
Man, I feel like it set me up to expect adversity. So in Nebraska, it was a fishbowl, meaning like the state really looked in with eagerness to watch you and everything that you did. And because of injuries being a part of my story at Nebraska and then having to overcome them, it just set me up to go into the NFL and expect those things. So when they did come up, it was like, I've been here before. I've seen these. It looks a little different. And money's on the line. You know, now it's a job. So it prepared me just in terms of being mentally tough.
And then you get that call saying you're coming to Washington. Now, you're a Bay Area kid. You're living in Nebraska. How familiar were you with Washington and what was going on out here when you got drafted?
So I was shocked when I got the call from, at the time it was Mike Shanahan, and it was because the running back coach did not show his cards. So I've met him once, and it's the great Bobby Turner, who's now at San Francisco coaching Christian McCaffrey, and he didn't show his cards, meaning I didn't think he was interested in me. I remember this one-off random conversation I had with him after the combine at Indianapolis. And so I was shocked. And then I called my mom, who wasn't there. I have 5 other siblings, so she was at a kids' sporting event. So I called her. I said, "Hey, Mom, going to Washington." And she says, "Yes, it's only like an hour and a half flight." And I was like, "No, this is not Washington State, the capital." Yeah. And my mom went, "Oh, no." So I was shocked. My mom was confused, but it ended up being awesome.
And it's not every day where you get drafted and then not one, but 2 of your teammates get drafted to the same place in the same draft. Did that help ease a little bit of the like confusion and like fear of like, oh my gosh, this is so different?
Yeah, it did. I would say it took off the edge of feeling like I was into like my first week on campus, like I did from high school to college. It took a little bit of the edge off. So when me and Niles Paul and DJ Gomes got together, it was like, whoa. And me and Niles were close because we played offense together. Me and DJ's from the Bay Area. And so he's from the East Bay. So it was like we all just went in with more familiarity, more comfortability. And that rookie year, we all ended up playing. And so it was really cool.
And it was crazy being somebody that was a Husker at the time. Like, I'm just a young man, and I remember you guys all going and getting drafted to Washington. And then it seemed as if all of Nebraska became Redskin fans because everybody loved you guys. Everybody wanted to follow Niles. Niles being from Omaha, DeJon being one of our better guys in the secondary that left, you being one of the best running backs we had ever seen. Did y'all realize in the moment that impact you guys were making on Nebraska from all of you guys being on this team? Because I feel like to this day, there are so many Washington fans, and mostly it's because of you three.
I appreciate it, Brian. I had no clue. Man, going into my rookie year, it was hard enough to make the roster. So for me, it was so over my head. It was so difficult that I asked my dad, "Would you think less of me if I quit?" And I had to return, and that meant that I would have to get my signing bonus back. So for me, man, I honestly, as a 22-year-old, was just 21, trying to make it. And so when you say things like that, that's even news to me. Getting some insight in that way. I think I was always aware that people cared because I went to the next level, and I was really trying to make my teammates proud and earn my teammates' respect even furthermore by playing at the next level. And I knew that kids who were in Nebraska, like I knew that mattered to them as well. But I didn't know that there would be people following our career and becoming Commander fans.
Bro, I'm telling you, I got to see it in real time, and it is a real thing, man. Like, there was like a whole resurgence of just D.C. and Washington things going on when you guys got drafted there, and you guys had a lot to do with that. And people are excited, right? People are excited to see people that they went to school with, people from their alma mater, people from, their state. A lot of people don't know Nebraska. Bud Crawford wasn't around at the time, so you guys were really putting Nebraska on the map, so salute to you for that. But like you said, you're in it, right? You're locked in. You even said you were scared a little bit. You were worried, man, like, take me back there to where, like, I'm sure you were saying it in jest. I'm sure you were just joking, but, like, was there a fear of, oh, man, I can't do this. I got to quit?
Yeah, it wasn't scared timidity. It was hard. Like, to go into, so I'll give you a little bit of context. So I go to college in 2007. That's my freshman year. I played at a school where our offensive line was above average, but we played against really good teams in the Bay. So it felt like I didn't know just how would I say this? how difficult possibly I had it in high school till I got to college. And then I don't redshirt because we have guys who can block. So now I'm seeing holes develop. I feel like I can set up blocks. And so the game was easier. Then to make the jump from college to the NFL, it was hard. It was the exact opposite because the space was so much tighter. And I had to learn pass pro. That was a new thing to college to do that in the NFL. So I got my block knocked off by a guy named Lorenzo Alexander, pass pro. I never wore a mouthpiece in college. I wore a grill, a gold grill on the bottom of my teeth. And that was, that had no cushion, but that was just the only thing, I just thought, it's not like I need to be concerned. Well, after the first training camp practice and pads, I definitely started wearing my mouthpiece. It was different playing against grown men. These guys were in their prime at 27, 28, hitting me. And so it was just really difficult. And by God's grace, I got to the first preseason game. And when I got to the preseason game and I walked out, I was like, oh, this is what I expected. Like, I feel life from the crowd. I feel like it's, the Coliseum in Rome. I feel like this is what I always imagined when I was little. It was going through the training camp days that you have to nail your assignments, go through difficulties, wake up at 5 a.m. That really got to me. But once I got to playing ball against other teams, it just got back to childlike stuff.
Was it just the energy in the arena that got you back to that? Because that's really tough, right? Like, you're going through something that's so hard you've never been through before. Nobody can prepare you for that, especially you, right? Like, you're a first-generation NFL talent. Like, how can somebody prepare you for that has never experienced it yourself? When was that moment where you were like, okay, I can do this. I belong here. This is where I'm supposed to be?
So it was the first game is where I was like, oh, I'm an NFL player. Like, all that stuff's in the past. It was walking out. I felt the life, and then made my first play, and it went well. And so I was like, oh, this is just ball. It's just ball. Like, getting to the point, it wasn't just being at gosh, it was FedEx at the time. It wasn't just game day. What happened was I just felt the heaviness of feeling like, man, this is really hard. This is a grind. This is more difficult. I'm away from familiarity during training camp. And that led me to like this place where I'm going into the game, and it's the night before. And I go to the chapel service, and our team chaplain ends up giving a message on overcoming difficulty. And it was one of those things where I was like, oh my goodness, God's speaking directly to me. So right when I heard that, I was like, oh, God, you see me. You see how difficult this is. And so I felt like because God was speaking to me through this chapel service, that honestly, it was like all the heaviness fell off. And then I went to sleep, went through meetings, woke up, and then it was boom, straight into that. And it was just up and to the right ever since then.
Man, God is so good. That is awesome, man. I appreciate you sharing that, because when I think about like the things I know about you, being somebody that went to the University of Nebraska, trying to get a broadcast journalism degree, sports journalism was everything. So I'm covering you. I'm learning things about you. So I want to go back a little bit, because it's very obvious you're rooted in faith. And I like to figure out where that comes from, because from what I know from you, like you said, you're one of 6, right? The first boy, the first 4 were girls. So you're your dad's first boy, right? So you're the 5th child. Am I right about that?
Yeah, real close. The first 3, and then I'm 4.
And then you're 4. Okay. Got it. Still crazy, right? You're that first boy after 3. Your parents are trying. And then, of course, you are a junior. I myself am also a junior. So understand how heavy that can be for our fathers, right? We are their namesake. We are representing them. What was it like growing up, being that first boy for your dad? Because I know you and your dad have a very, very close relationship.
I never felt pressure, even though looking back, he said stuff that would like put pressure on me. But I think that in innocence, I had a dad who pushed me, put me in stuff I was good at and I excelled at. So then he kept putting me in him. And I think the innocence of just my childhood kept me from feeling the pressure. But my dad, me and him are close, man. He was my mentor, my idol growing up. And he would say things like, hey, when you make it, just remember you're taking care of me and mom. You know, I'm Tongan ethnically, so that's not Western thinking. You know, it's more Eastern. It's like family is first, God, family, that type of thing. And so for me, my dad was just reminded me subtly, like, hey, when it happens, you're gonna buy us that house. You know, fill in the blank. And so for me, because I grew up in this mix of like Western ideas outside the house and then Eastern family ideas in the house, I didn't feel this pressure. I had a great childhood. I ended up fulfilling my dream and never felt like pressure out from my parents to do it. And it didn't affect my game, my mentality, performing, any of those things. The big breakthrough for me, and just in terms of my faith, was I didn't go to church growing up except for a few times. And so my mom gave her life to Jesus when I was in high school. And I was like, good for you. Like, she totally changed and became really moral. And she kept asking me to go to church. And I'm like, I'll do it because I'm going to college. And so I did it as a favor. Short of the long of it is, it was my freshman year in college where I actually cared enough to be like, man, why do I exist? It was all these existential questions like, what's the meaning of life? And it was all happening while I was fulfilling my dream. And so I met with this team chaplain, gave my life to the Lord as much as I understood at the time, and just been walking with him since.
Dang, man, that's awesome. I don't know why I just always assumed you had got that faith from your dad, because you have carried that for as long as I've been following you, man. That is awesome to hear. Shout out to our moms, because as dope as our dads are, our moms are just as cool as well, man. And then you use this faith that you have not only in God, but that you have in yourself and in your family, and it turns into an NFL career, right? I believe 4 years in Washington for you?
Yes.
And when you look at your journey, you talked about the injuries you dealt with in college. Those kind of kept up. You had a few injury issues in the pros as well, man. How did you lean on your faith and your family to help you get through the things you were going through in football?
Man, apart from Jesus, I would have given up. Like, we wouldn't be having this interview because I wouldn't have had a 4-year career, to be honest. You know, God gifted me with physical talents, but there are some things you can't control. And so I got hurt at the Commanders, and it was stuff I couldn't control. Like, I had a turf toe. My rookie year ends up going really well. By God's grace, I end up setting records and doing well. And it's like, you know, things are falling in line with what I'm used to. Not to be arrogant, but things are just going well with football. And then the next year, I'm going into my second year, and it's Alfred Morris's rookie year. And I get hurt, and I miss all training camp. Alfred, the rest is history. I end up backing up Alfred for the rest of my time there as the third down back. I missed my second year and then come back to be backup. So God saw me. He was my strength through the downs. He was my joy in the highs. And I came back a better football player year 3 and 4 because I went through the low, and I felt like I got to this place where if I lost football, I knew I'd be fine, totally fine. And it was at that point where then I came back and things went really well. And I just took it as, okay, I guess, you know, it was just a test for me to grow in endurance and in character. And there were multiple times I could share with you, Brian, where like I would open up the Bible and it would be exactly what I needed. Exactly. You know how that goes? It's just like the word for that moment. And so it was moments like that in the off season and in the season, and having eventually friends who were like-minded on the team and in the locker room to where he genuinely gave me joy while playing. Because when you become a pro, it's easy to lose your joy while playing the child's game, and what you always wanted to do. And God kept me really light, kept my humor light. And I think that's honestly, he's the reason why it went so well.
Dang, man. I mean, you said it. Like, if it wasn't for Jesus, I would not be here. That's how I feel every single day. Like, I'm like, by the grace of God, I get to sit here and do what I love to do and do my dreams. But there's so many hard times when the journey of chasing your dreams and getting to your dreams that people don't even see. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, because it's funny you mentioned Alfred, and I don't know how much you guys still communicate, but he was on the show a couple weeks ago, and he broke down into tears talking about how tough it was to be a retired player, because much like yourself, he dealt with injuries. He didn't necessarily feel like he got everything he wanted to get out of the game. Not saying that that's what you're saying, but he was kind of saying those things, and it was really heavy for him. It was hard for him. Instead, it didn't hit him for years after the fact, and then it just became this overwhelming depression. How has it been for you post NFL career, being able to not be an NFL player anymore, a game that you spent your entire life playing, man? How was that adjustment for you?
So I have talked with Alfred, and we have kept in touch through the difficult times.
Oh, that's great to hear. That's great to hear.
Yep. So I've that man has persevered through post-career blues like not many men have, and he'll be the first to say it's definitely because Jesus. So shout out to God and him. Persevere. And all that being said, love that man. And for me, I was so ready, bro, that when it stopped, me and Alfred talked about it. I was like, bro, I love you. But my story was one in which I was so ready because I felt like I did get the most out of the game. And so I think that was honestly the difference. I feel for him, because he felt like he didn't. For me, I'll tell you this quick story. So when you go to the NFL Combine, they take you through a bunch of scans, and one of them, they look at your skeletal structure. To make a long story short, it is I'm going into year 4 at the Commanders, and our strength and conditioning, I'm stretching in the off season. The strength and conditioning coach comes up to me and says, "Hey man, I took a look at I was stretching and I couldn't get to this certain area to really loosen one of my muscles up." And he's like, "Yeah, I looked at 3 years ago when you came in, I looked at your combine stuff." And I was like, "I know, did you see this, and that?" And he goes, "Yeah. It's only by the grace of God that you are made up different in other ways, that you're actually playing in the NFL." And I'm like, I feel the same way. I feel like God gave me, graced me with a work ethic, a want to, because I love the game. But there were things going on. I retired and I have a hip replacement. And I'm like, what was the issue was like the actual space that I had in my available to be mobile and sit down on my cuts. And so I had to compromise a lot to give like an example, a lot of route running. I would have to do like crazy acting moves with like when I would cut, if I'm going left, I would look left, right, left, and then finally go left. And that's how I would win my routes when other guys could win off of sitting in their hips, pow, pow, and pop out. So I know I'm giving really technical terms, but it was just by the grace of God that I knew that me playing in the NFL was a gift because I had a limitation. And so with all that being said, I really felt by the time that I finished, I was at the Raiders and I was having the hip issues, and I got both hips scoped. I had torn labrums in both of them, a chip bone in my right. I now, at 30, I ended up getting a hip replacement. And so, yeah, I was ready.
Man, Roy, thank you for sharing all that, because that's what I love about being able to talk to you all is like the fans watching y'all. I mean, there was kids watching you that are now adults now that probably have not heard this story or been to hear from you. So like, thank you for sharing that, because as fans, we watch our favorite players go through injuries and miss time. And sometimes fans are a little hard on the players, not realizing like, yo, this is a human being going through real things. And I guarantee you, every single one of y'all want to be on that field playing the game you love, but it's so hard dealing with just the trials and tribulations of life, not just injuries, but all the different things, man. So, Roy, we appreciate you so much for taking the time to come on here. We know we haven't heard from you in a while. Last thing, what do you want, even when we're all gone, right? Like when it's all said and done, and a fan is talking about one of their favorite Washington running backs, Roy Helu Jr., what do you want them to remember about you and your game?
Oh, man. So the key thing for me is the character that you're setting me up for, which is a fan of the Commanders who looks back at Roy and wants to remember one thing from his game.
And it doesn't even necessarily be about your game, just be about you as the player. Like how do you want to be remembered, especially by this fan base, because you know they give it up crazy for anybody that wore the burgundy and gold. And I have no doubt they're going to be in the comments of this video right here showing you a lot of love, man. So how do you want to be remembered by this burgundy and gold fan base?
Okay, all right. That's different for me. That was more helpful for me to wrap my mind around.
I got you.
Because on a real note, I don't think you can force anybody to think differently about you as a player. Like I can't say I want people to know me as, you know, a guy who came down and gave it his all, and it's just like, well, you know, all right, whatever. The fans can argue like, oh, well, I just remember you as the third down back, and I'm like, all right, well, I can't force you to think of me any differently in terms of a player. I feel like so when you reframed it and you're like, hey, just as a person, man, I would want anyone who would remember me to remember me as a guy who loved Jesus and acted like it. I mean, and fill in the blank for whatever that would look like. I asked, there's this old guy, Tom Osborne. You know him.
Oh, yeah.
the greatest Nebraska Cornhusker coach ever. One of the top three, in my opinion, greatest football coaches in the modern era / ever. And I asked him the same question. I said, man, what do you want people to remember you by? What do you care about for your legacy? And he's like, it's for people to determine. You know, and I thought, and he told me, don't live your life concerned about what other people think about you and the legacy you'll leave. And so for me, I get that to a certain degree. But if you're asking me, man, just a guy who loved God and loved other people.
That's beautiful, man. And that shows in this interview right here, Roy. Thank you so much for taking the time. I know fans have been just waiting to hear from you again, man. So it's just so good to know that you're doing great. You and the fam up in Omaha, Nebraska, doing your thing, man. And please know that these doors are always welcome and open for you. And the fans cannot wait to see you again. So we need you to pull back up to what's Northwest Stadium now. It's not FedEx no more. It's Northwest Stadium. So you can come kick it. Northwest Stadium. We got big money now, Roy.
All right. Hey, you'll see me up there next season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. I'm going to hold you to that, Roy. Thank you so much for your time. Commanders family, our next man up, man of God, Roy Helu Jr. Thank you, brother. My Nebraska brother, man. It's been an honor to interview you, bro. It's been crazy because I've been following you since I started in my career, man. So I appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Brian. Blessings. Thank you.
Commanders family, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Next Man Up. Remember, you can stream all of the Next Man Up episodes right now on the Commanders YouTube page or the audio wherever you get your podcast. Thank you so much for supporting the Next Man Up podcast. You've allowed us to be nominated for not one, but 2 People's Choice Podcast Awards, Best Male Hosted and Best Black Male Hosted Podcast. And that's all because of the best fans in the NFL. I appreciate y'all so much for supporting us. It's crazy to think we're already in season 3 of Next Man Up, and we have a lot more to go. So make sure to subscribe to the Commanders YouTube page so you don't miss any of our content. I'm Brian Conerly Jr., and this is Next Man Up.
This show was filmed at the Big Bear AI Command Center studio. Big Bear AI offers mission-ready AI for a rapidly evolving world, proudly protecting the Washington Commanders and its fans.